The locks and dams on the Illinois waterway are critical pieces of infrastructure that help drive our nation's economy. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Rock Island District Consolidated Closure Repair Project on the Illinois waterway was developed to minimize impacts to commercial navigation while facilitating long overdue repairs on this aging infrastructure. The site you see here today is Peoria Lock and Dam, which is one of 5 sites that will be receiving extensive repairs. The other sites include LaGrange, Starved Rock, Marseilles, and Dresden. These locks are all over 80 years old, which requires a significant amount of maintenance and repair to keep the system reliable.
So prior to any dewatering, there's a lot of work that has to happen behind the scenes. First, a list of critical components that need to be repaired is developed, plans and specs get developed, supply contract and quantities get put together, bulkheads get lined up, pumps get lined up, and a lot of planning goes into effect. In order to dewater a lock chamber, first they'll use the crane. They'll start stacking bulkheads on top of each other. They'll start at one end. They'll send the divers in to seal up the bulkheads. Then they'll move to the opposite end of the chamber, set the bulkheads on that end. Again, send the divers down to seal up the bulkheads. And then they'll come back and set the pumps. Once the pumps are all set and turned on, this chamber took about 20 hours to dewater, completely pump out. That's a rate of about a foot per hour. Behind me, you can see a dewatered lock chamber, what we consider a dewatered lock chamber, even though there's still a few inches of water in the chamber. All right, so here at Peoria Lock, you see the top anchorage of our miter gates. These anchorages are being replaced this year on all 4 gates as part of the dewatering project. These essentially act as the top hinge of the miter gate and ensure that top portion of the gate stays in place. This void here would typically house a large hydraulic cylinder. These cylinders actually operate the miter gates here at Peoria Lock. They've been removed and shipped off to a contractor to be rebuilt as part of the work here in 2020. Some of our bigger ticket items here at Peoria Lock will include new anchorages for all 4 miter gates. We'll be replacing the pinnels and bushings on the miter gates. We're doing some extensive bubbler work, basically putting in a whole new bubbler system that will allow us to combat ice and debris in the wintertime to help us lock more efficiently. We have various other electrical projects going on and some vertical horizontal concrete work, and of course our miter gate cylinders that operate our miter gates will be pulled and shipped off for rebuilding during this time. Here you can see the guys removing some abandoned hydraulic piping. This piping was used prior to the 1980s dewatering and is no longer in use. Since the Illinois waterway has navigation all winter long, dewaterings on the Illinois are fairly rare. The last time this chamber was dewatered was in the mid-1980s.
Over the next few months, Rock Island District crews from the Illinois Waterway Project and the Mississippi River Project, as well as crews from St. Paul District, will be working alongside construction contractors to complete this enormous project and all of the work at the 5 sites involved. When the work is done, each lock will be rewatered so we can bring the locks back into service and resume river navigation.